I've been working for months to bring you all of the widely released Christmas romance books that came out this year, 2023. It's been a lot of work, but it's been worth it. Hi, my name's Bea. Welcome to my channel. Mama Needs to Read Romance. And show you the latest releases you've never seen before, plus a compilation of all the previous Christmas release videos I've made in one easy to view video. Feel the burn. The Christmas burn. Woo! I know what my New Year's resolution is gonna be. If you haven't seen my August Christmas releases, my September Christmas releases, my October Christmas releases, or my November Christmas releases, don't you worry, I've got you covered because they're in this video. So let's get started talking about the ones that got away, the ones that were released after I did my videos, and ones that are out this December. This one looks dark and mysterious. It was released on Halloween, which almost seems perfect. This is Santa's Secret, a Pine Bend Christmas cold case. Mistletoe, merriment, and a mysterious disappearance. Amidst the enchanting backdrop of Pine Bend, where winter magic is tangible and elk tracks crisscross the snow, Elise, a tenacious private investigator from Seattle, stumbles upon a cold case that ensnares her heart. With each carol that floats through the crisp air, and this is good writing, and every twinkling light that illuminates the town, Elise finds herself not only drawn into the web of the town's enigmas, but also to Nicholas, a captivating local with eyes that mirror the mysteries of the winter skies. This is really good writing. Yet as the two join forces to unravel the haunting riddle of Clara Evergreen's vanishing. I love these names, by the way. They unexpectedly entangle their fates. Pine Bend, it seems, conceals more than festive merrymaking beneath its wintry cloak. Racing against the clock and their burgeoning feelings for one another, Elise and Nicholas delve deep into the town's hushed whispers, confronting the shadows of its history. As the festive crescendo approaches, a revelation awaits, one that promises to alter the course of Elise's life and the very fabric of Pine Bend. In a town where each snowflake carries an untold tale, Elise is on the cusp of unearthing a story that chills to the bone. The bone! This is really good. Okay, here's another one I'm excited about. This one was released on November 23rd. It's also on Kindle Unlimited. The Christmas Crush. Look at this cover, folks. Sweet shots of steam and instant love. It was right in front of you all along. Romance, Lake Mistletoe, Book 1. Yes, it's her best friend's wedding, so Lexi is headed back to Lake Mistletoe and she can't wait. Her life isn't turning out the way she thought it would and she could use the distraction, but Lexi doesn't expect it to come in the form of a drop-dead gorgeous Sean. She never paid much attention to her next door neighbor when they were kids, but Sean is all grown up now, and if Lexi isn't careful, she may never want to leave. Welcome to Lake Mistletoe, home of the Mayhem Ice Hockey Club. Yes! Things are normally pretty quiet around here, especially at Christmas time, but there's romance in the air this festive season, and even though it's snowing outside, things are starting to, you guessed it, heat up. So grab this It Was Right in Front of You All Along romance from the Lake Mistletoe series now. Sweet shots of steam stories by Penelope Gerhardt are short, cute, and spicy. Perfect for the reader who doesn't have time to skip to the good parts. What? Oh, man. Oh, man. On November 30th, Tricking Christmas, a sweet Western holiday romance was released, and it's on Kindle Unlimited, by the way. It's book 12 of 12 of the Rodeo romance. So if you're into Westerns, more so than me, check this one out. I'm not going to read it to you because I don't want to read all of them. This video is already too long. Man, this one looked too good to pass up too. November 30th, this one was released. Snowed In with the Seal, a second chance holiday Navy SEAL military romance with a surprise son. I guess it's not much of a surprise if it's in the title. Two lonely hearts, one Christmas miracle. Navy SEAL Preston Lawson is dead, at least on paper. When the Navy mistakenly reports him as KIA, it gives Preston the opportunity to join an elite Black Ops team. It's perfect for a man like him. No family, no commitments, no romance. On leave for the holidays, Preston heads to the last place he was truly happy, the resort where he met Lila, a stunningly beautiful woman who stole his heart years ago. He's supposed to stay off the grid and alone, but then he sees her, Lila, along with a son he never knew existed. What? Lila wrote off Preston years ago. Of all the sneaky, underhanded things a man could do, pretending to be dead just to avoid her? Furious is putting it mildly. But when she bumps into Preston at the very same resort where they met, she calms down long enough for him to explain. And she can't deny the sizzling chemistry they both still share. When things take a dangerous turn, Lila's grateful to have a steamy Navy SEAL in her corner, and maybe in her bed as well. What? Okay. Oh my gosh, look at this cover. Look at this. We are now in the December releases, folks, believe it or not, and there are very few. Remember September? That had like 1 million. Now December, there's very few. You'll Be Mine, the Wellwyn Marriage Wager Book 3, which is on Kindle Unlimited. 'Tis the season for love, no matter how much mistletoe it takes. It's Christmas time, and Ulysses Yule Quartermain is unenthusiastically looking for a bride when Penelope St. Clair, the little sister of his boyhood friend, makes an appearance at a Christmas party. But it's been 10 years since he's seen her. Penelope is no longer a child, but a ravishing beauty who's turning heads everywhere she goes, and much to his discomfort, Yule is not immune to the charms of the little girl next door, but he's working on it. Penelope has wanted to marry Ulysses Quartermain for most of her life. Now she's on the brink of her come-out season, a desirable young lady with wit and determination, and her happy ever after is within her grasp. If only she can make Yule see that she's grown up and would make him the perfect wife, it'll be the best present she'll ever get. Still, Penelope is not leaving anything to chance. Utilizing every ball of mistletoe she can find, she teases and tantalizes Yule, daring him to kiss her in hopes of breaking down his staunch resolve. It's staunch! As Christmas Day approaches, Penelope sets a final desperate plan in motion. Before the holiday is over, Yule will know just how much of a woman she truly is. Oh my. And if you're looking for something completely the opposite of that, there's also All I Want for Christmas is Utah Raptor. Yeah, dinosaurs. And this is a very specific interest, so leaving it to you to read more if you're interested. It's not all about Christmas. Here we have a New Year one, Highlands New Year by Amy Quick Parrish, which came out on December 12th. It's a standalone Highlands Christmas romance that says snowed in, kilts, scotch, Angus, Caitlin, Highland Love, New Year style. This is a standalone sequel to Highland's Christmas Wishes Come True. Embark on a whimsical journey with Caitlin Montgomery in Highland's New Year as she impulsively ventures into the breathtaking Scottish Highlands to rescue her recently divorced friend Melissa. Little does Caitlin anticipate that amidst the snowy landscapes and the warmth of a charming inn, her own heart will be captivated by Angus, a ruggedly handsome musician. Will Caitlin ring in the new year with love? We'll have to see. This is really cool. It's an anthology called Amour Actually, which was also released on December 12th. It's Christmas Eve in New York City when anything is possible. For these couples, it's the season to find true love. From second chances, big leaps, missed connections, and reconnections, this charming collection celebrates the spirit of the holidays and delivers 9 perfect happily ever afters. How cool. It is Kindle paperback. The audiobook has multiple narrators, quite a few actually, so it looks like it's going to be really neat. Here's one that came out on December 15th, Christmas in Jubilee. It's the Jubilee series book 3. We've got a beautiful small town romance that is definitely meant to be read in order. So I'm not going to read this to you in case you haven't read the first 2 books. It won't make sense, but suffice it to say, it looks like a fun cast of characters and small town feels with a beautiful setting. So very interesting. This looks really cute. It's already been released in print, but the audiobook comes out on the 20th of December. It's Merry Kismet, a sweet romantic comedy by Annika R. Walker. Bree. Things I should never have done. Number 1, put my ex-boyfriend's name on my Christmas wish list. Number 2, grin dumbly at him when he shows up at my door. Number 3, think it's kismet that he's staying on the other half of my duplex for the holidays and means we're meant to be together. Because we're not. He broke my heart in high school and never looked back. Then we have Rockwell's side of the story, things I will never do. Number 1, move back to Bearwood. Number 2, repeat my parents' mistake by getting married. Number 3, kiss Bree Holland under the mistletoe. I know how good her kisses are, and if I want to make sure 1 and 2 don't happen, I'm going to have to keep her safely in the friend zone until I'm out of Bearwood for good. Part of the gift-wrapped romance series, Merry Kismet is a second chance, sweet and clean romantic comedy. Enjoy all 5 romances in any order. Cabin Crush by Casey Stockton. Merry Kismet, as I just mentioned. Solo for the Season by Martha Keys, One Small Secret by Esther Hatch, and Jingle Bell Jilt by Mindy Strunk. Fun! And last but certainly not least, A Kilt for Christmas. This was released in print already this fall, but the audiobook is coming out on Christmas Eve. I actually just read this one and I really enjoyed it, so I do want to read you the summary. A Kilt for Christmas, The Enchanted Highlands, Book 3. Legend has it that wishes made of the standing stones during Christmas come true. As if. Maisie Barron is over it. A small town girl with big dreams. Her frustrations lead her to make a silly wish at the standing stones outside Lauren Bray. Little does she know the magic found there will transform her wish into a catastrophic event that threatens the upcoming Christmas book festival. Weston Smith needs a break. Burnt out from his tenure-track professorship, he decides that a holiday in Little Lorne Bray, Scotland will be the perfect escape he needs to recharge his batteries. The last thing he expects is to find the woman he's been waiting for his whole life. With the overzealous help of a gaggle of elderly book club members, West finds himself on a real-life mission to woo the woman of his dreams. There's more than magic at play when sparks ignite. Snowed in with an undeniable attraction brewing, only West and Maisie can save Lauren Bray from the snowstorm of the century. Author's note, a handsome American takes on a lonely Scotswoman in this standalone small-town Scottish romance. Wicked banter, a Highland ghost coup, which I learned is a cow, and dogs dressed in kilts make this magical Christmas story the perfect happily ever after. And yes, it can be read as a standalone, but this is book 3 in the Enchanted Highland series, and I had read book 2, which made 3 even better. And I want to read book 1. And I know there's at least one more book because there's another couple that hasn't gotten together yet. So it was fun. All right, so that's the end of the new crop that I hadn't gotten to show you in any of the other videos. If you want to see some of my videos with widely released books published in August, September, October, or November, keep on watching. I've got chapters at the bottom so you can slide right to what you've missed. And if you don't make it to the end of this video, happy holidays. This matchmaker is determined to find matches for all her hardest to love clients during the Christmas season. It's actually called The Christmas Season by Allie Sinclair, and it's being released on August 10th. You are cordially invited to your happy ever after. Emma Love is a matchmaker who believes in old-fashioned courtship over swiping left or right. She's inspired by Jane Austen, Bridgerton, and 1001 Perfect Romance stories, where matches were made at elegant soirees and not by sliding into your attendant's DMs. This year, Emma is inviting you to a very special social season where a hopeful singleton might find their own Mr. Darcy waiting under the mistletoe. At a series of glamorous, festive, and most importantly, romantic events, Emma is making it her mission to find love for everyone this Christmas season. How will she fare trying to find perfect matches for the Price twins, both too busy trying to outdo the other to ever look for love? Can she encourage the sexy season rake Theo to change his ways? And what of Hope Lucas, who Emma has failed to match before, but who still has faith that Mr. Right is out there? And with Emma so focused on finding everybody else's happy ever after, is she at risk of letting her own perfect match slip away? Welcome to the Christmas season. A woman tries to plan for a Christmas fair while navigating new single motherhood when she's challenged by an environmentalist to make the season more eco-friendly. Can it be done? We'll find out on August 17th when the Christmas fair on Holly Field is released. Foxmore's inaugural Christmas fair will be the toast of the town, or the downfall of their relationship. Harriet is facing her second Christmas on her own since her husband walked out. With little child support, she's struggling to manage financially. When Owen, a passionate environmentalist and popular blogger, overhears Harriet bemoaning her situation, he challenges her to only buy secondhand until Christmas. What she doesn't know is that Owen is reporting her journey anonymously to all of his followers. Though the challenge is proving successful, it's not without its troubles. Can Harriet really keep her children and bank balance happy this way? How will she react when she finds her life being documented online? A festive romance with buckets of heart for fans of Holly Martin, Jessica Redland, and Sue Moorcroft. The movie It's a Wonderful Life combines with the movie Groundhog Day for Through the Snow Globe by Annie Raines. The release date is August 22nd. If your loved one could stay another day, what would you do? Diana Merriman is probably the only person in the small town of Snowhaven who isn't looking forward to Christmas. It's been 3 weeks since her fiance Linus was hit by a car as he biked home from the toy store he owns. When she uncovers the surprise gift Linus had bought her for Christmas, a snow globe of their town, the night before Christmas Eve, little does she know it will set her on a course that will change everything. Because Diana wakes up to find that it's the day of Linus's accident. Stuck in an endless loop repeating the day over and over, Diana fights fate to save her fiance. But it's not just Linus who needs rescuing. As Diana uncovers startling truths about herself and her relationship, the future becomes even more uncertain. A compelling and heartwarming time loop romance for fans of Lindsay Kelk, Molly James, and Danny Atkins. 3 women, 3 decades. 3 Christmas Eve moments that changed their lives forever. In one unforgettable love story, one Christmas Eve. which is being released on August 29th. On Christmas Eve, 1968, Kathy McLean receives a surprise visit from the lost love of her life and is forced to choose between the one that got away and the one that stayed. On Christmas Eve, 1993, Kathy's daughter Helena is overjoyed to hear that her boyfriend is about to propose until a devastating encounter threatens to bring her heartbreak instead of diamonds. On Christmas Eve 2023, a shocking discovery rocks Eve Quinn's world. The only gift Eve wants this year is the truth, but it will take a Christmas miracle to unravel generations of secrets. Unwrap this festive tale of complicated families, impossible choices, and an unforgettable love that lasts 3 lifetimes. A woman flies across the ocean at Christmas time to go to New York City to meet the love of her life, but then he's disappeared. She encounters another gentleman as she tries to uncover the truth of what happened to her original beau in Fairy Tale of New York, which is being released August 28th. 32-year-old Charlie Brown has a plane to catch. Charlie Brown. As Christmas approaches, she is New York bound to be reunited with boyfriend Harry after work has kept them apart. But once she lands, Harry is nowhere to be found. There's no hand-drawn sign with her name being brandished at the gate, no answer from Harry's phone, and all at once, Charlie's worst fears come true. What has happened to Harry? And what should Charlie do now that she's an ocean away from home? As Charlie slowly comes to terms with her predicament, she makes a decision. She's not leaving New York without finding out the truth, and with a little help from her handsome new friend Pete, there still might be a path to happily ever after. A woman of a certain age tries to find love and save a beloved Christmas gingerbread village in the book, The Gingerbread Christmas Village. Out August 31st. Everyone deserves a Christmas treat. The annual Wheaton Gingerbread exhibit, a model village made of gingerbread and grotto, has been an important part of the sleepy Cotswold hamlet's Christmas celebration for decades. For years, the gingerbread exhibition drew visitors from across the region, and each year the model town grew more elaborate and ambitious, but recently, interest has been dwindling. The gingerbread grotto needs to be rehomed or closed forever. 64-year-old Margie, the event's founder, has had enough of village life and its total lack of eligible men, and is planning to sell up and head to Birmingham to live closer to her niece. She's lost her spark and her Christmas spirit and decides this will be her last gingerbread village, but despairs when she finds her only support is her old friend Izzy, her niece Lucy from Birmingham, and Fern, the shy young farmer's daughter. Oh, and Patrick, the gorgeous, reliable school caretaker. If this wasn't enough, Lucy's determined to get her out dating again and persuades her to try some online dating apps, but Margie's had her heart broken too many times and wonders if she's just missed her chance. Can they save the gingerbread grotto, and can Margie get her old spark and her Christmas spirit back? A cozy, totally feel-good seasonal read that will have you smiling. The perfect read to snuggle up and have you feeling festive. Fans of Jenny Colgan and Trisha Ashley will love this book. This enemies to lovers grumpy sunshine rom-com written by Rachel Dove looks like a real crowd pleaser. Our gal Summer hates Christmas, and Noel, who moves next to her, is determined to change her mind in Summer Hates Christmas. It's the most wonderful time of the year, isn't it? Summer Hastings hates Christmas. She loves sunshine, the beach, and running her travel agency, sending people off to their dream destinations, even if she doesn't get to see the world for herself. For Summer, Christmas sucks. They wrote that, I didn't. So when handsome and charming Noel Pritchett moves his pop-up Christmas shop into the store next to hers, Summer sees red. Noel loves Christmas, and he quite likes Summer, too. If only he could break through the anti-Christmas armor she has surrounded herself with. So why does Summer hate Christmas so much? And can Noel be the one to prove to her that it really is the most wonderful time of year? A woman dealing with the loss of her parents and a rocky relationship winds up getting a second chance at happiness while on a vacation with other members of her family in Iceland in One Winter's Night by Kate Frost. With Christmas just around the corner, Molly Bliss has almost hit rock bottom. After the heartbreaking loss of her parents, an escape to Iceland to spend the holidays with her sister Claudia is a chance for her to find solace and focus on her neglected relationship with her boyfriend Howard. But when Howard misses his flight and Molly is forced to rethink her whole outlook on life. Surrounded by her family, Molly has never felt more alone. With ongoing family tensions rumbling and a surprising connection with old flame Leifer? Pronounce that one for me. And his friend James, Molly realizes she has an opportunity to rediscover who she really is. While exploring the wild beauty of Iceland, a fragile hope seeds itself in Molly, and alongside the life-affirming experiences and new friendships that are forged, she's forced to question why she ever put her own dreams on hold. Will Molly allow grief and disappointment to destroy her chance at happiness? Or can new love sparkle as the land of fire and ice begins to work its magic? A DIY house threatens the relationship of our hero and heroine in this story set at Christmas. It looks like this entire community might be just the thing that Portia and Charlie need to save their relationship. In Snow Angels at Golden Sands Bay, Portia Fortescue has traded in the hustle and bustle of London to help renovate a magnificent French manor house on the beautiful island of Jersey with her boyfriend Charlie. But what they hoped would be a blissful escape to the chateau turns out to be more of a DIY SOS. As the winter snow sets in, the stress of restoring the derelict building begins to take its toll on their relationship. Portia has known heartbreak before, but thought she'd found her happy ever after with Charlie. Then, just as all seems lost, Portia and Charlie discover the warmth of the community, the best friends anyone could ever ask for. This new life could be everything they want it to be, if only they can finish the chateau in time for its grand reopening. This Christmas story set during World War II promises that you'll need to have your tissues ready in the final installment of the Goodwill House series, A Christmas Baby at Goodwill House, July 1941. As the war grinds on, Lady Joanna Harcourt knows that her time at Goodwill House is drawing to a close. A new chapter awaits, one that she never expected to happen to her. She is going to be a wife and mother again. Excited with their new arrival and with her beloved flying officer John Sargent back in her life, Joanna hopes that even though war clouds gather, love will prevail, and the future will look brighter than ever for the Harcourt family. John has just one last mission to complete before they can be together, but even though John is an experienced and competent pilot, the threat of the enemy is still close. Will this be one risk too far? Or will there be another goodbye for the Harcourts before they close the doors of the Goodwill House forever? And now we are officially into the September books. A rare snowfall leads to a Christmas to remember in A Louisiana Christmas to Remember, written by 3 authors, Betsy St. Amant, Morgan Tarpley Smith, and Lenora Worth. 3 heartwarming, interconnected stories of faith, love, and restoration brought to you by 3 Louisiana native authors. Will a rare snowy Louisiana Christmas bring restoration and hope to the hometown and hearts of 3 women from the town's founding family? In A Louisiana Snow by Morgan Tarpley Smith, meet Maddie, a passionate visionary who learns to forgive and finds love in unexpected places. In Restoring Christmas by Betsy St. Amant, meet Jolene, an artist and prodigal daughter who discovers love exists in the very place she once called home. In A Christmas Reunion by Lenora Worth, meet Adele, a beautiful widow who finally dares to love again. And don't forget Granny, whose feisty spirit, blunt dialogue, and quirky ways play an important and endearing role. A woman just wants to enjoy small town life, but it looks like everything is getting turned on its head in Winter at the Dog and Duck by Jill Steeples. Ellie Brown has left behind her high-flying job in London to return to the charming Buckinghamshire village of Little Leighton. Working shifts at the Dog and Duck pub and running her own doggy daycare business, Ellie's looking for a simpler way of life in this idyllic English setting. But Little Leighton's landscape is changing. Johnny Tay, Ellie's ex, wants to pick up where they left off, and sultry property developer Max Golding has moved into the village and is ruffling feathers. And rumor has it that the pub, which holds a special place in Ellie's heart, might be sold. Suddenly, life's looking a whole lot more complicated. Can Ellie overcome all the challenges to finally find her one true love? A perfect feel-good romantic novel to curl up with, this story of new beginnings, love, and friendship is perfect for fans of Jenny Colgan and Lucy Diamond. Our heroine is single and devastated about it, as her sister is about to get married to our heroine's ex. Thankfully, there's love on the horizon and a good friend. But what's a gal to do when it's time to go back home? You'll find out in You Make It Feel Like Christmas by Toni Shiloh. It's the most wonderful time of the year for everyone except star Lewis. As if going home for the holidays jobless and single wasn't bad enough, she's dragged into a holiday season full of activities leading up to her sister's uber-romantic Christmas Eve wedding to Star's ex-boyfriend. But when her brother's best friend Waylon Emerson attends their family Thanksgiving, she starts to wonder if maybe coming home for Christmas isn't so bad after all. Ooh, so we get 2 holidays in this one. As Star finds the perfect distraction in helping Waylon make over his late mother's Christmas shop, the most wonderful time of the year works its magic and the spark between them grows. But with the holidays fast approaching, Star must decide what she wants out of life after the gifts are unwrapped and the ornaments are put away. To go back to New York City or to open her heart to a love that will last beyond Christmas Day. 2 workplace rivals, Christmas, one festive competition, and a romance that upends it all in All's Fair in Love and Christmas by Sarah Monzon. Every December, two things are guaranteed for graphic designer Mackenzie Graham: Christmas celebrations and the annual promotion at her workplace. Those two things are by no means mutually exclusive. In fact, the better an employee is at harnessing the Christmas spirit, the more likely they'll win the new job. With her social anxiety, Mackenzie never thought she'd be a contender in her company's holiday competition. So how exactly has she found herself dueling her workplace crush with wrapping paper tubes and using tinsel as her weapon of choice for a much-needed raise? Jeremy Fletcher's life is meticulously planned out, including how to win this year's promotion at work. Not only will the new position fulfill some of his career goals, but as a single guardian to his twin niece and nephew, he needs the salary increase to support his family. Jeremy has barely noticed Mackenzie Graham around the office, but now that she's his rival, he can't stop thinking about her. Her quirkiness intrigues him, and he's afraid that if he can't get his head on straight, the promotion isn't the only thing he'll end up losing to Mackenzie. Get ready to get swept away into a royal holiday you won't soon forget in A Royal Christmas, a Christmas novella by Melody Carlson. Adelaide Smith is too busy for fairy tales. She's been working hard to put herself through law school, and now that the end is in sight, she's determined to stay focused on her goals. Then she receives a letter notifying her that she has been found through a DNA registry to be a direct descendant of King Maximilian V, the ruler of a small Eastern European principality called Montovia. She's understandably skeptical. This is the stuff of cheesy, made-for-TV movies, not real life. Although the pieces of this surprising family puzzle seem too good to be true, curiosity gets the best of her. At the king's invitation, Adelaide embarks on a Christmas break trip that is chock full of surprises, including a charming village, an opulent palace, family mysteries, royal jealousies, a handsome young member of parliament, and the chance at a real fairy tale romance and a happily ever after ending. This heartwarming Christmas romance is set in Cornwall. It's Mistletoe at the Manor by Teresa F. Morgan. Can Beth learn to open her heart this Christmas? Between setting up her boutique and raising her 6-year-old son, single mum, Beth Sterling has little time for romance. When she moves her business into a cozy converted stable on the scenic Treneth estate, she finds herself clashing with the handsome but aloof owner of the estate, Tristan Trenouth, or Trenouth, I'm not sure. When the two are forced to work together, they grudgingly put their differences aside and agree to an uneasy truce that slowly blossoms into a strong mutual attraction. But with a young son, a fledgling business, and a painful past to contend with, Beth needs someone she can rely on. And Tristan has demons of his own to face. Will they find happiness together in time for Christmas, or will the shadows of the past drive them apart? Da da da! Cozy up with this heartwarming Christmas romance, filled with hope, love, and new opportunities. A heartwarming tale of new beginnings. It's Christmas at Cottage Corner by Sarah Hope. When Chrissy Marsden moves her children and menagerie of pets into Corner Cottage, she hopes to put her divorce behind her and have the fresh start she's been looking for. Just as she feels she's finally getting her life back on track, with a chance encounter at the school gates reigniting her passion for sewing, a surprise pregnancy throws everything into turmoil. Reignites her passion for sewing and a surprise pregnancy. Okay. When she is asked to alter a wedding dress, she realizes her hobby could become something she could turn into a real career. I get it now. And an invite to a client's wedding could be all she needs to bring romance back into her life. But will she be able to find someone who can accept her as she is? In Mistletoe Gardens, a legend exists. Anyone who kisses underneath the mistletoe will be guaranteed another year of love. In The Gingerbread House in Mistletoe Gardens by Jamie Admins. When local baker Essie Brown discovers that Mistletoe Gardens is to be demolished in January, she's determined to save the place she loves so much. So Essie proposes building a life-size gingerbread house to bring in the crowds. Just how hard could it be? Well, quite hard actually. Essie can bake gingerbread blindfolded, but she hasn't got a clue how to build an actual house with it. She needs help, and fast. Enter local builder Josh Hallisey. Essie is convinced that with Josh's help they can pull this off. There's just one tiny problem. Josh hates Christmas, gingerbread, and, well, just about everything else too. Joss, the Grinch, makes it clear that her idea is ludicrous and pointless, but he reluctantly agrees to help her with her plan. Will the gingerbread house be enough to save Mistletoe Gardens? Or will Essie's chance for a magical kiss under the mistletoe be lost forever? It's the most wonderful time of the year on Castle Street, and there's a awesome new business opening in Christmas at the Cat Cafe by Jessica Redland. It has always been Tabby's dream to work with cats, and an inheritance from her beloved Nana has finally made that a reality. Idyllic Castle Street in Woodsboro Bay couldn't be a better place for pastry chef Tabby to open a cat cafe with her boyfriend Leon. But when Leon leaves her in the lurch, the pressure mounts for Tabby. With Christmas fast approaching, she has to open the cafe on her own, a daunting prospect, especially when she's been hiding her health issues from the ones she loves. Faced with local resistance to the cafe and somebody seemingly determined that she won't succeed, Tabby will need her friends, family, and cats more than ever to recover her broken Christmas spirit and pull together for a Christmas miracle. Will the Cat Cafe bring the festive joy to Castle Street as Tabby had hoped, or will it be a catastrophe? And can the magic of Christmas on Castle Street mend Tabby's broken heart as well as her business and other cat puns? A wonderful story of love, friendship, and opening your mind and your heart to new possibilities that will enchant fans of Holly Martin and Heidi Swain. This is Christmas Nights at the Star and Lantern by Helen Rolfe. The Cooper Plow is at the heart of village life for the residents of Heritage Cove, and never more so than at Christmas when the tree glows in the alcove and the smell of mulled wine carries out onto the street. So when new owners of the beloved pub arrive and decide to shake things up, not everyone welcomes the changes with open arms. Local bakery owner Celeste is ready to keep an open mind, but she's shocked to discover that one of the new landlords is Quinn, a former Navy sailor with whom she had a short but powerful romance years earlier. Fate may have brought Quinn and Celeste back together, but life seems determined to keep them apart. Can the villagers learn to embrace the newcomers this Christmas? And will Quinn and Celeste find a way back to each other before the snow falls over Heritage Cove? Take a trip to the most magical city this Christmas with best-selling author Joe Bartlett in Meet Me in Central Park. Will their Christmas wish come true? Libby Cooper hasn't celebrated Christmas since the night her parents died in a terrible accident. She wants to forget that the season of goodwill even exists, but her grandmother has other ideas. It's time for Libby to start living her life just as her parents would have wanted her to. First stop, New York. What better way to immerse herself in the celebrations than working in her great-aunt's Christmas shop just a few blocks from Central Park? Making new friends in the Big Apple is the easy bit, but leaving the past behind proves much harder than Libby imagined. Long walks in gorgeous Central Park help, and here she meets Harry Stanwyck, a Central Park ranger. Harry seems to know instinctively when Libby wants to talk or when she just needs to sit quietly on their special bench with him by her side. Slowly, Libby begins to feel some of the pain of her past slipping away, and as New York begins to work its magic and her friendship with Harry grows, so too do Libby's feelings for him. But can she ever be truly happy without the people who matter most to her? Or can Harry convince Libby that she deserves her own Christmas miracle and her chance of happiness sitting with him on the bench in Central Park? From bookfluencer and host of the Bad on Paper podcast, a riotous holiday rom-com about four friends in NYC, New York City, who hold on to their unconventional Christmas tradition even when their paths diverge, but the changes they fear might be exactly what they need in The Christmas Orphans Club by Becca Freeman. Hannah and Finn have spent every Christmas together since college. Neither has anywhere else to go. Hannah's parents died, and Finn's disowned him when he came out. Their tradition of offbeat holiday adventures only grows more outrageous with time. When the pair starts their adult lives in New York City, they add stylish Priya and mysterious Theo to the group, solidifying a found family and a sense of belonging they've always craved. But now, when Finn announces a move to LA, this Christmas may be their last. Hannah is terrified of losing the family she's built for herself, even as her boyfriend nudges her toward commitment. Meanwhile, Finn struggles with the things he's about to leave behind, namely his unexpressed feelings for Theo. Does growing up mean growing apart? This Christmas, the changes these friends fear may be exactly what they need. When an old rival reappears right before the holidays, a professional dog trainer must decide if the melting frost between them can make up for their rough past. From USA Today best-selling author of Dog Friendly, It's Unleashed Holiday by Victoria Shade. Chelsea Higgins is doing just fine. She's heading into the holidays at the helm of a thriving dog training business, and she's got a mellow senior dog at home to keep her warm at the end of the day. What more could she want? Enter certified gym bro Andrew Gibson, Chelsea's former nemesis and now the newest neighbor in her business complex, who also wants to expand into the vacant space Chelsea's been eyeing for months. Who cares if it's the season of joy? Let the turf war begin. When an unfortunate and literal run-in with Andrew's lawless dog leaves Chelsea with a bum wrist, the two strike strike a deal. Andrew will help Chelsea rehab the injury if she'll work with him to train his adorably uncivilized boxer. Their typical bickering soon turns to bantering, and Chelsea finds herself inexplicably drawn to the man she thought she had nothing in common with. As she gets to know Andrew and his parents, she realizes she needs to refocus on her own family, especially with a milestone Christmas speeding toward them. But Chelsea can't help wondering if she and Andrew are training for keeps, or if this unexpected Christmas gift is just too good to be true. It's hard to escape your ex when you're working together over Christmas in the Scottish Highlands, but being stuck together might be the best possible present in this sparkly new contemporary romance called The Xmas Holidays by Zoe Allison. Maya Bashir is dreading her drive home for Christmas and having to explain that she's just left her high-paying job and a long-term relationship, so a brief detour into her friend's festive party doesn't seem like such a bad idea. Until Maya walks in to find the last person she wants to see, Sam, the boy who broke her heart 8 years ago, and he's serving drinks naked. Sam Holland is working an extra job on the sly to help his friend get by, but little did he expect Maya Bashir to come barreling back into his life, learning about his secret side hustle and taking back her old job alongside him at his daytime role as a ski instructor on the slopes of the Scottish Highlands, hopefully wearing clothes. As both Sam and Maya realize that their reason for heartbreak so many years ago wasn't entirely as it seemed, they must learn to stand up for what they want the most, or else miss their second chance at love. From two best-selling Canadian authors comes a multi-faith holiday rom-com about the delightful havoc that occurs when Christmas, Ramadan, and Hanukkah all fall at the same time, and two strangers turned friends are snowbound in the small, charming town of Snow Falls, along with a cast and crew of a holiday romance movie, nosy family members, and their lifelong crushes. In 3 Holidays and a Wedding by Uzma Jalaluddin and Marissa Stapley. I don't know if I pronounced either of those correctly, my apologies. 3 times the holiday magic, 3 times the chaos. As strangers and seatmates Mariam Aziz and Anna Gibson fly to Toronto over the holidays, Mariam to her sister's impromptu wedding, and Anna to meet her boyfriend's wealthy family for the first time, neither expect that severe turbulence will scare them into confessing their deepest hopes and fears to one another. At least they'll never see each other again, and the love of Mariam's life, Saif, wasn't sitting 2 rows behind them hearing it all. Oops. An emergency landing finds Anna, Saif, Mariam, and her sister's entire bridal party snowbound at the quirky Snow Falls Inn in a picture-perfect town where fate has Anna's actor crush filming a holiday romance. As Mariam finds the courage to open her heart to Saif and Anna feels the magic of being snowbound with an unexpected new love, both women soon realize there's no place they'd rather be for the holidays. A cozy ranch setting, small-town neighbors, the uplifting magic of the holidays, and a Texas-sized love story make this brand new Christmas tree ranch novel from America's first lady of romance, New York best time-selling author Janet Daly, the sound of sleigh bells. After her divorce, Ruth McCoy is eager to trade her children's painful memories for her new holiday traditions, but Ruth has a whole new set of distractions when fate brings the man she once loved together with the son he never knew he had. Life has thrown Judd Rankin some tough turns, and he's startled by the feelings he still has for Ruth. Though the successful rancher knows better than to chase old dreams, he doesn't mind lending the struggling single mom a hand. And when Judd sees Ruth's teenaged son's interest in his custom saddle business, he's happy to let the boy help him build the harness for Branding Iron's Christmas sleigh. Besides, the kid reminds Judd of the young man he once was, a man who believed anything was possible. Powerless to deny the growing bond between her son and Judd, Ruth knows it's only a matter of time before her secret is discovered. But will the revelation shatter the tender feelings between her and Judd, or turn out to be her family's greatest gift? From a best-selling Canadian author comes a delightful enemies to lovers holiday rom-com set in the quaint town of Maple Falls about a city girl and a small-town boy who compete in the town's annual holiday games in order to win the right price for a Christmas shop. It's The Christmas Wager by Holly Cassidy. One rivalry, 8 days until Christmas. Let the holiday games begin. When LA-based real estate developer Bella Ross arrives in the sleepy mountain town of Maple Falls, she has one mission: to acquire the local failing Christmas shop, Always Noel, securing the promotion of her dreams. Nothing can get in her way except the shop owner's stubborn grandson, Jesse Harrison. Both refuse to budge until an unlikely wager is struck. Bella and Jesse will compete in the Maple Falls Holiday Games, an annual tradition of eccentric feats of strength and skill. Winner decides the selling price. They'll give each other a run for their money, but as the competition heats up, Bella and Jesse's icy feelings toward each other begin to thaw. It'll take a Christmas miracle for them to admit there's a spark. Well, what if it's just another game? A young woman tries to heal a rift in her elderly pen pal's family in time for Christmas, all while falling in love and maybe even reuniting with her own family in this dazzling romance from the author of Always holidays in December, and one last gift. It's Love, Holly by Emily Stone. Sometimes it takes a stranger to bring you back to yourself. Ever since a car accident tore her family apart, Holly has been part of a Lonely Hearts holiday letter writing club. Each December, she writes to a stranger who is also spending Christmas alone and receives a letter from another lonely person in return. Usually the letters go unanswered. That's the point. The letters are anonymous, and the senders write whatever is in their heart. But this year, the letter Holly receives is different. Not only is the letter full of a grief she knows all too well, but its writer, Emma, mentions a place that Holly has visited. When she realizes that she might actually be able to find the letter's author, Holly becomes determined to reunite Emma with the estranged grandson, Jack, with whom Emma is desperate to reconnect. When Holly finally tracks him down, she remembers that she's met Jack once before, and the connection was electric. The spark between the two of them is still there, until a misunderstanding risks their burgeoning romance and his strained relationship with Emma too. But Holly is determined. If she can fix Emma's family, she might also be able to fix her own. Though as it turns out, Holly might have less time to put things right than she thought. Laurel Grant is playing house for the holidays, complete with a fake husband and kids in this delightful, charming rom-com by Carrie Winfrey, Faking Christmas. Laurel Grant works as the social media manager for Buckeye State of Mind, an Ohio tourism magazine and website. She most definitely does not run a farm, but one tiny misunderstanding leads her boss, Gilbert, to think she owns her twin sister Holly's farm just outside of Columbus. Laurel only handles the social media for the farm, but she's happy to keep her little white lie going if it means not getting fired. She cannot be jobless again. And keep it going she must when Gilbert, recently dumped by his wife, invites himself over for the farm's big Christmas Eve dinner as advertised on Meadow Rise Farm's Instagram, thanks to Laurel herself. Laurel immediately goes into panic mode to figure out how she can trick Gilbert into thinking she's basically the Martha Stewart of rural Ohio and keep her job in the process. Laurel and Holly come up with the perfect plan. All Laurel has to do is pretend to own the farm for one dinner. But Laurel shows up at the farm to find an unwelcome guest is waiting, Max Bennett, her nemesis since Holly's wedding. The annoyingly attractive man she hates will be posing as Laurel's husband for the evening, but when a snowstorm traps them all for the entire weekend, Laurel is going to have to figure out how to survive with her job and dignity intact. Whatever the case, this promises to be the most eventful Christmas in ages. A fresh start is all she wants this Christmas, but maybe a cowboy is all she needs. In The Holiday Heartbreaker by Maisie Yates. It's not the holiday season she'd envisioned, but moving back home with her son Benny is all single mom Elizabeth Colfax can do after her ex-husband's infidelity left their life in pieces. A fresh start at Four Corners Ranch means Elizabeth's dream career in equine therapy can become a reality, allowing her to share her love of horses with Benny. If only it didn't also mean butting heads with Brody McLeod, the frustratingly attractive cowboy who sets sparks off inside her. Brody doesn't do complicated, and Elizabeth's got more baggage than an airport, but there's something about the woman that's always gotten under his skin in a very welcome way. As the simmering tension between them grows harder to ignore, they'll have to decide if their undeniable attraction can outweigh a shared loss of faith in forever. Maybe this Christmas they can find a family worth fighting for. From love-inspired, uplifting stories of faith, forgiveness, and hope comes The Teacher's Christmas Secret by Emma Miller. The Amish school brings them together. Will his secret break them apart? When widowed schoolteacher Tobit Lapp is injured, he reluctantly agrees he needs Cora Kaufman's help. Cora is still upset Tobit got the job at the Amish schoolhouse, but she agrees to teach his class till he's able. As they work together on lessons, a surprising friendship blossoms between them. But Tobit's heart is torn. He's falling for Cora, yet his secret could ruin everything. Three Friends. One Christmas Escape. A week that will see their lives changed forever. In Starlight at Snow Pine Lodge by Rachel Barnett. Making headlines is something socialite Tanya knows all too well. After her latest scandal goes too far, she decides the perfect solution to her problem lies in a remote ski lodge away from the cameras. Clara is learning to take each day as it comes after a sudden tragedy rocked her whole world. A trip to the French Alps couldn't have come at a better time. A chance to heal and get back on her feet. To her friends, Rose is the glue that keeps the group together, the first person they call in times of need, and one always to put others before herself, even if it comes at the cost of her own secret heartache. As Clara, Rose, and Tanya head to Snow Pine Lodge, what waits for them there is far more than the relaxing break they were expecting. Between uninvited guests, a brewing snowstorm, and old secrets bubbling to the surface, these women will need to lean on their friendship more than ever before if they're to face up to their pasts and fight for the relationships they really want. 1 Month to Pretend or 1 Month to Fall in Love? Only for Christmas. By Tracy Corbett. How do I turn down an overly keen colleague I have zero interest in dating? Should I stammer and bluster my way through every excuse in the book, accept and then immediately turn in my resignation letter, change my number and leave the country? Or allow my hot new doctor neighbor to step in and pretend to be my boyfriend? The answer, there are no right answers. But option 3 is happening, and I'm fake dating Lucas just to survive my work Christmas party without any further unwanted advances. On September 19th, The Christmas Promise by Lindsay Gibson, which is also on Kindle Unlimited. On September 26th, Wrapped Up with a Bow by Lily Vale, Snowy Serendipity by Melissa Ferguson. On October 1st, Rainbow Cove Christmas by 6 great Australian writers. The Drover's Brother Comes Home for Christmas. This one's set in the late 1800s by Derry Fraser. Spinning to October 2nd, The Highland Lodge Getaway by Julie Shackman. A Christmas Miracle in the Little Irish Village by Michelle Vernal. Spinning into October 3rd, stop! We've got Wreck the Halls by Tessa Bailey. The #1 New York Times bestselling author Tessa Bailey delivers a sexy, hilarious, standalone holiday rom-com about the adult children of 2 former rock stars who team up to convince their estranged mothers to play a Christmas Eve concert. Melody Gallard may be the daughter of music royalty, but her world is far from glamorous. She spends her days restoring old books and avoiding the limelight. One awkward tabloid photo was enough, thanks. But when a producer offers her a lot of money to reunite her mother's band on live TV, Mel begins to wonder if it's time to rattle the cage, shake up her quiet life, and see him again. The only other person who could wrangle the rock and roll divas. Beat Dawkins, the lead singer's son, is Melody's opposite. The camera loves him, he could charm the pants off anyone, and his mom is not a potential cult leader. Still, they might have been best friends if not for the legendary feud that broke up the band. When they met as teenagers, Mel felt an instant spark, but it's nothing compared to the wild, intense attraction that builds as they embark on a madcap mission to convince their mothers to perform one last show. While dealing with rock star shenanigans, a 24-hour film crew, brawling Santas, and mobs of adoring fans, Mel starts to step out of her comfort zone. With Beat by her side, cheering her on, she's never felt so understood. But Christmas Eve is fast approaching, and a decades-old scandal is poised to wreck everything. The Steelbirds reunion, their relationship with their mothers, and their newfound love. Let's keep spinning that wheel. The Christmas Cafe by Eliza Evans. I actually read and reviewed that one. I have that linked above in my September wrap-up. The 12 Months of Christmas by Sheila Roberts. Stop! We have Snowed In for Christmas by Jacqueline Snow. Fans of Christina Lauren and Maggie Knox will adore this fun and festive rom-com featuring a grumpy sunshine duo who find themselves stuck together over the holidays, where the weather outside is frightful, but inside things are heating up in this sexy holiday story. Sorority mom Becca Fairfield is used to guys not taking her seriously. She's too blonde, too quirky, or just too much. So she's ditched dating to focus on her job and house filled with drama and plenty of tea. Now with the holidays and a major blizzard on her doorstep, Becca has everything she needs to survive the next 2 weeks on her own. Hot cocoa, plenty of books, and the memory of a steamy kiss with a certain sexy Grumposaurus next door neighbor to keep her warm. Only Becca seriously underestimated this snowpocalypse. So when the power goes out and Harrison Cooper, football coach, master crank, and the guy who acted mega awkward after said steamy kiss, offers her shelter, it only makes sense to accept. They'll just be blizzard buddies. Hang out, stay safe, and maybe indulge in a little R-rated cuddling. Becca knows that Harrison isn't the dating kind, and what happens during the storm lasts only as long as the storm. But are they keeping warm or playing with fire? Let's keep that wheel spinning. Once Upon a Christmas Kiss, a cozy collection by all of these fabulous authors. Stop! You'll Be My Duke by Darcy Burke. It was loathe at first sight when Cecilia Bromwell met John Crowley, the Earl of Cosford, 5 years ago at a party where his ill-conceived prank and irascible temper ruined not one but 2 of her new gowns. Now at a Yuletide house party, Cecilia learns their parents seek to match them in wedded bliss. However, she has no interest in even speaking with the menace, especially after he spills wine down her bodice, ruining yet another gown. John has no desire to be paired with the shrew for the Yule Yule log hunt, but if they can suffer each other's company for a short time, perhaps they can convince their parents that they do not suit. When they're separated from everyone else and a snowstorm drives them to seek shelter alone in a cottage together, it may not matter what they want. With marriage all but imminent, can these enemies become lovers by morning? Let's spin it to win it! Love in Winter Wonderland by Abiola Bello. This is a YA Christmas romance. Then we'll spin into October 4th and stop for Home for the Hollandaise. My small town high school buddies called me a walking stick. I showed them by becoming a big city model on the Fashion Week catwalk. Now I'm back home to run my parents' cafe, Home for the Hollandaise, while they both recover from surgeries. I came dressed to impress in my designer clothes, which is good because one of my former bullies, Reed, is the cafe's general manager. Why didn't my parents warn me? He's determined to usurp my authority while subtly flirting with me, but I'm determined to put Home for the Hollandaise back on the map, something Reed hasn't done in 2 years as manager. After the holidays, I'm heading back to New York City to rejoin my model boyfriend and resume my life. Never mind that Reed looks unexpectedly hot in a flannel shirt and treats my parents like they're his own. He won't interrupt my plans one bit. At least, that's what I keep telling myself. Home for the Hollandaise is a sweet romantic comedy about the magic that can happen when you give your worst enemy a second chance. Let's spin into October 5th with Snowed In with the Rancher by Leslie North and Mary Sue Jackson on Kindle Unlimited. Also on Kindle Unlimited, In the Greek Midwinter by Mandy Baggett, which came out October 6th. My Xmas Emergency. This is on Kindle Unlimited and it's by Jennifer Peel. Very few in Aspen Lake expected that I, Callista Monroe, their most notorious wild child, would ever amount to anything besides being a model prisoner. So imagine their surprise when I am returned as the hospital's newest ER doctor. Believe me, no one is more surprised than I am. I had vowed to never return, even if it was the last safe haven during the zombie apocalypse. But when my niece Quinn begged me to come home, I couldn't say no. My plan is to stay out of trouble this time and above all, avoid Quinn's Uncle Tristan, the man I love to hate and the reason I left Aspen Lake. But trouble starts to brew when my niece gets into her pretty head that her uncle and I need to reconcile. Oh... The devious little thing insists we deck the halls together all season long, and since I'll do anything to make Quinn happy, I agree, believing I'm completely immune to Tristan's charm, except the joke's on me. Who knew that Tristan's biggest regret was letting me go, and the infuriating man seems willing to do everything possible to win me back? Well, it's going to take a Christmas miracle for me to give him a second chance. Unfortunately for my plan, our chemistry could set a blizzard on fire. Now I have a major X emergency on my hands. Do I give my niece her Christmas wish? Or do I let the love between Tristan and me flatline once and for all? This looks so cute. Before we leave October, I have one more that I want to talk about. This is Jacqueline Frost's Stalking Around the Christmas Tree. This is a Christmas Tree Farm mystery book 4. It is a cozy mystery, not strictly a romance, but spinning into October 10th, where there are a lot of releases. No Place Like Home by Lacey Baker. Stop! Let's talk about The Christmas Swap by Talia Samuels. Margot Murray is a newly single, successful businesswoman with no interest in a cutesy seasonal romance after her breakup with her long-term girlfriend. Ben Gibson is an unlucky in love sweetheart in need of a woman to bring home for the holidays. Together they make a pact. Margot gets 2 blissful weeks away from London in a picture-perfect manor, and Ben gets a fake girlfriend for his holiday at home with his family. Upon arriving to the manor, Margot meets Ben's sister, Ellie, who is suspicious of the supposed relationship right from the start. Ellie intends to get to the bottom of their relationship, not being able to see how the two of them work as a couple. As Ellie and Margot grow closer, will Ben and Margot be able to keep the charade up? Or will Margot and Ellie risk the chance at something real? Let's keep spinning! Midnight at the Christmas Bookshop by Jenny Colgan. A Holly Jolly Ever After by the duo that brought you last year's big hit, A Merry Little Meet Cute, Julie Murphy and Sierra Simone. This one's about an actress and a former boy band member on the set of a steamy rom-com. Christmas in Painted Pony Creek by Linda Lale Miller. Every Day is Christmas by Karen Shaler. Christmas at the Shelter Inn by Rayanne Thane. A Cowboy Country Christmas by Jenny Martz. And we're gonna stop for this next one, The Holiday Mix-Up by Ginny Baird. Lonely-hearted waitress Katie Smith has nowhere to go for Christmas and a huge crush on her gorgeous diner patron Juan Martinez. So when Juan asks Katie to pose as his girlfriend for holiday festivities at his family's winery, Katie leaps at the chance. That is until an accident lands Juan in a coma right after giving his folks the news. Katie knows she should tell the Martinezes the truth, but when they immediately embrace her, Katie is reluctant to let her fantasy of a family holiday go. And then there's Juan's brother Mateo, whose smile tugs at her heartstrings just right, and who tells her perfect Juan might not be everything he seems. Second son Mateo Martinez loves his brother, but Juan's plan to rebrand and expand Los Cielos Cellars has cost their family too much and put its entire tradition in jeopardy. Katie seems to understand, but she's still committed to Juan, even when Mateo starts to wish her gentle heart and beautiful smile were committed to him instead. With the winery at stake, secrets on all sides, and Juan due to wake up any day, can Katie and Mateo follow their hearts to a Christmas miracle, or will this mix-up ruin their chances? It's said to be a fresh take on While You Were Sleeping, which I love that movie. Let's keep spinning with Paradise for Christmas by Carolyn Brown, and we've got The Christmas Fix by Lucy Score, which is on Kindle Unlimited. Now we'll spin into October 12th with A Cornish Christmas at the Farmhouse Bakery by Linda B. Halton, Christmas at the Snow-Covered Inn by Lucy Coleman, Christmas at the Chateau by Annabelle French, and Starry Skies Over Primrose Hill by Jill Steeples. And then we're gonna stop for All Wrapped Up by Kimberly Kincaid, which came out on October 13th. Talk about a hot lead. Christmas is coming to Pine Mountain, and it has a way of stirring up memories, good and bad. Nick Brennan may manage the double shot bar smooth as good whiskey, but his past is a hot mess. When he runs into a burning building to save a little boy, some people start thinking there's more to his heroism than holiday spirit. And then the local reporter assigned to the story turns out to be gorgeous Ava Mancuso, the girl who got away. Ava knows what it's like to have a past, but the changes she's seen in Nick since she knew him do more than set off her natural curiosity. His warm eyes and gruff charm have her instincts fired up. Still, all the chemistry in the world doesn't erase history, even when Nick invites her to his little sister's mistletoe wedding. Does he have a heart under all those secrets, or is this going to be just another Christmas past? Let's keep spinning that wheel into October 17th, where there were a lot of releases as well, with It's a Fabulous Life by Kelly Farmer, a sapphic reimagining of It's a Wonderful Life. One Christmas Morning by Rachel Greenlaw. I gave this book 4.5 stars. I have a link above, and I'll have it in my description box as well, to my 1-minute review of this incredible reimagining of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, mashed up with Groundhog Day and the book Midnight Library. Here comes another one, Life is Better with You. This was one of my favorite reads of the entire year. I gave it 5 stars. I have it linked here in the cards above. It'll also be in my description box to tell you more about this incredible story that you can read any time of year. It's got all the great tropes, such an incredible romance. I bought it immediately. Meet Me at Christmas by Jenny Hale, which is on Kindle Unlimited. This is Jacqueline Frost's Stalking Around the Christmas Tree. This is a Christmas Tree Farm mystery book 4. It is a cozy mystery, not strictly a romance, but recently when I did my fall cozy mystery vlog, I fell in love with Julianne Lindsay, and guess what? Jacqueline Frost is Julianne Lindsay. For innkeeper Holly White, Christmas time in Mistletoe, Maine is the ultimate holiday gift. Business at the Reindeer Games Inn is booming. Her wedding to Sheriff Evan Gray is nearly here. So there's romance and a wedding. And the annual parade is about to begin. The town is lucky to have another gift this year, with the state's ballet company staying for several performances of the Nutcracker. But disaster strikes when Tiffany, the lead ballerina, shows up dead on a float during the parade with the Rat King's mask nearby. Holly will have to spruce up her sleuthing skills if she wants to catch the killer before Christmas and her wedding day. Are you telling me this is a Christmas wedding? Oh, I am in. Immediately, Holly discovers that Tiffany had more than a few secrets. She finds out that the star of the show had a super fan that no one knows anything about, and the show's understudy slips some other intriguing information Holly's way. Not only was Tiffany secretly seeing someone romantically, but there seems to be more than one rat in this company. When Holly discovers a secret passage leading to Tiffany's dressing room with footprints leading out, she wonders if this is evidence of a secret lover or a stalking killer. With an impending snowstorm and the ballet company on its way out of town, Holly must act quickly if she wants to find the person responsible for this terrible murder. Will she be able to save Christmas, or will her investigation turn cold like the weather? And then we'll spin into October 18th with Make Her Wish Come True by A.L. Brooks. Spinning into October 20th, we have The Perfect Christmas Village by Bella Osborne. And we're gonna stop for this next one, Snow Days with You by Leonie Mack. When Luna Roundtree gets an unexpected and life-changing legacy from a man she's never met, she's determined to find out why, even if it is Christmas Day and her family are expecting her. So with only her mother's ashes for company, it's a long story, but Luna knows her mother would have wanted to come on this adventure too. Luna sets off in her trusty Astra to the skiing resort in Chamonix, where her mysterious benefactor had lived. But her little car isn't designed for driving through snow-covered mountains, and when she runs out of fuel heartbreakingly close to Chamonix, Luna is relieved to be saved by her very own knight in shining armor. Well, knight in mountain rescue uniform anyway. Yannick is charmed if baffled by Luna's mission, and before she knows it, he has agreed to help. But Yannick has his own secrets calling him from the mountains and his own reasons to run away. As he helps Luna understand her past, he realizes he has to face his as well if he's ever going to risk opening his heart to love. Curl up with Leonie Mack's new winter romance, perfect for fans of Mandy Baggett, Joe Thomas, and Sarah Morgan. Now we're going to keep spinning into October 24th, where there were many releases again. Santa and Company by Fern Michaels. And then we're going to stop for a bonkers one that might just strike your fancy. How the Hitman Stole Christmas by Katie Roos. 'Tis the season for a grumpy sunshine romance with a side of murder and mayhem. She hates Christmas and everything that goes with it. Explosives expert Eliana hates Christmas. And the only good thing about this holiday season is that her gorgeous neighbor seems allergic to shirts and clothes in general. She knows because she's been watching him for months with her drone. She's never stalked anyone before, but he not only doesn't seem to mind, he puts on nightly strip shows just for her. When she finally works up the courage to talk to him, she stumbles right into a murder that he's committed. Do you see what I'm saying? This book is crazy. It gets crazier, but wait. But this holiday is one she'll never forget. According to Theo, the whole murder thing is no big deal. The dead guy needed killing. And while her hot neighbor wants her, protecting her is his main priority. So when she's targeted, this cinnamon roll hitman kidnaps her for her own good, with a deadly threat hunting them and a hot hitman who keeps handcuffing her to him for her own protection. Eliana is starting to reconsider her grinchy stance on the holidays, and when everything finally comes to a head, the results are bound to be explosive. The Christmas Brides of Twilight by Lori Wilde. Christmas at Spruce Hill Farm by Katherine Springer. The Christmas Cabin by Michelle Major. 'Tis the Darn Season by Kimmy Freeman. I try to keep my channel PG so anyone can overhear. This one's a dual timeline based on the Taylor Swift song of the same title. The Rancher's Christmas Star by Stella Bagwell. The Nurse's Holiday Swap by Anne McIntosh. Mistletoe Magic in Tahiti by Candy Shepard with a surfer. A Boy's Amish Christmas by Patricia Johns. Winter Wishes at Roseford Reloved by Faye Keenan. And we're going to stop for Frosty Proximity. It's a novella by Liz Alden. The snowstorm of the century is approaching, and my only hope of getting home for Christmas is my grumpy, rich, and definitely off-limits client. A closed airport, 50 miles of Swiss countryside, and the threat of record-breaking wind and snow stand between me and flying back to my family in New York. The family that labels my job as a personal stylist as frivolous and shallow. Nice. My client Peter is working just as hard as I am to get me on that plane. It seems he really doesn't want me crashing his family's Hanukkah based on the tension in the air and the grunts he aims my way. Grunts I should not find sexy. But we may not have a choice, and when his family opens their warm, cozy home to me, I may realize that beneath his frost, Peter makes me melt. And we'll keep spinning to Christmas on the Island by Maggie Miller. On October 24th, the Christmas Romance Collection was released. Spinning into October 26th, we have The Christmas Love Letters by Sue Moorcroft. And Is It Love Actually for Lexi Byrne, aged 42 and a half, by Caroline Grace Cassidy. A Christmas Truce by Emma Bennett, which is on Kindle Unlimited. And then we're going to stop on October 30th for 5 Gold Rings by Kristen Bailey. This one also seems bonkers. What does Christmas look like to you? A tree rammed with homemade decorations, a mantelpiece weighed down with cards, mom telling dad not to put the chocolate wrappers back in the tin, a festive film on television. It should definitely not look like a naked woman on her knees noshing off your boyfriend of 3 years in the shower. It's Christmas Eve, and the holidays are not off to a good start for, Eve. This is all written. After the surprise and shock of catching her boyfriend cheating, Eve, totally devastated, reacts by throwing the gifts she's selflessly bought and wrapped for his family out the window. But while doing so, she discovers her own present from Chris under the Christmas tree, an engagement ring bought at the jeweler's where she works. What the jingle bells is going on? And what was he thinking? Confused and with her Christmas plans in tatters, Eve rocks up at the jeweler's for some tea and sympathy with her lovely employers, Mr. and Mrs. Casper, who quietly put in a distress press call to her colleague, Jo. Eve doesn't know that Jo is secretly in love with her, but her bosses do, and they know he's just the person Eve needs to comfort her in a crisis. Jo gets the call while moonlighting as a buff butler at a Christmas-themed hen do and races across town to help console Eve. But as he learns about her heartbreak, the Caspers realize a crucial delivery has gone astray. 5 gold rings destined for Christmas proposals and weddings have been sent to the wrong addresses. Can Eve and Jo retrieve the rings and get them to their rightful owners in time? As they set off in Jo's ancient Mini, Jo still dressed as a sexy elf and Eve just a little bit tipsy, their adventure begins. With 3 proposals and 2 weddings to get to, it's up to Eve and Jo to save Christmas. An utterly hilarious novel for anyone looking for festive romance with all the feels. If you have a hot date with Love Actually every Christmas, you will adore this gloriously funny and unmissable festive read. And our final spin actually ends up on Halloween with It Happened One Christmas by Chantal Wurten. Spin into the month of November finally, right? With November 1st, Almost Perfect. But I'd like to stop on The Holiday Star by Dr. Melissa Diamond, which is also being released on Kindle Unlimited. What's so cool about this book is it's actually being released in 2 different versions. There's version 1, a spicy open door version with mild explicit language and love scenes. The other version is a sweet, clean, closed door version with no language and only kissing. Because, as the author states, I want all of my readers to feel comfortable, so please choose the best version for you. 1 doctor, 1 movie star, 1 house, 1 month until Christmas. What could go wrong? Dr. Gwen Wright is having a not-so-merry Christmas. For the month of December, she's alone, house-sitting for her mother and new stepfather. Her surgically precise world gets a plot twist when Caleb Lawson, world-famous movie star on the run from the paparazzi and his secrets, crash lands in her kitchen. Besides being a Hollywood heartthrob, Caleb is also her stepdad's nephew. He thinks he has as much right to stay in the house as she does, but as far as Gwen's concerned, she's the landlord and he's the squatter. The more they are forced to share the small space, the more Gwen is drawn to the moody celebrity. Sure, sometimes he can be a Grinch, but when Caleb finally touches Gwen, it makes her jingle bells ring. But the future looms like a foggy Christmas Eve. With no red-nosed reindeer to guide them, can Gwen and Caleb overcome their differences? After all, she's ordinary and he's a star. For them to fall in love is going to take a Christmas miracle. Holiday Star is a swoon-inducing, page-turning celebrity romance novel with the perfect blend of angst and tension. Read if you like enemies to lovers, forced proximity, tons of chemistry, a touch of groveling, and happily ever after. Perfect for fans of Emily Henry, Lucy Score, Tessa Bailey, and Sophie Lark. Also on November 1st, Once Upon a Christmas Legend, a Beauty and the Beast sweet small town holiday romance by Sierra Knight. It looks quite good, but I'm going to highlight another one that I'm really excited about. It's called Snowed In by Catherine Walsh, and it's also been released on Kindle Unlimited. Megan is dreading going home for the holidays. She's the village pariah, the she-devil who left local golden boy Isaac at the altar 4 years ago and ran away to the big city. She could really do without the drama, particularly as he's engaged again and she's just been dumped for the 4th time this year. Christian's fed up of being on his own every Christmas. He doesn't mind being alone, but he hates his family's sad eyes and soft tones as they sit around coupled up because he's actually totally fine. So when Megan literally bumps into Christian in a Dublin pub, they come up with a pact to see them through the holiday season. They're going to be the very best fake dates for each other ever. Rules are drawn up, a contract is signed on a wine-stained napkin. They will sit through each other's family gatherings and be outrageously in love until freed from their annual obligations. After all, it's only for a few weeks. But with everyone home for the holidays, 2 big families to deal with alongside old friends, old flames, and old feelings, things are bound to get messy. And when a snowed-in cabin and a little Christmas magic are added to the mix, anything could happen. A swoon-worthy and utterly gorgeous romantic comedy that will make you laugh out loud and fall completely in love. Fans of Emily Henry, Sophie Kinsella, and Abby Jimenez won't be able to stop reading. Sign me up. We'll keep spinning that wheel for the Christmas Checklist by Lisa Hepner, and also released on November 2nd was The Holiday Prize by Megan Ranking, which is also on Kindle Unlimited. Let's keep spinning that wheel to November 6th for another one I really want to highlight. This one is also on Kindle Unlimited, One Sweet Holiday by Lucy Day. An opposites attract romantic comedy from Jasmine Falls in Love Stories, Book 3. From the Ippy Award-winning author of The Almost Lovebirds, opposites attract in this sweet holiday rom-com rom-com, but will this small-town sweetheart and her mysterious new neighbor be a perfect match or a recipe for a disaster? It's the most wonderful time of the year, unless you're me. Hold the hay rides, keep your cocoa, and don't put me within a country mile of mistletoe. This year, Christmas means chaos. My sister's getting married, and I, Gwen Griffin, perfectionist extraordinaire, will make sure her wedding is flawless. That includes doing the impossible, finding myself a wedding date. But in my tiny hometown of Jasmine Falls, South Carolina, I'll have better luck winning the lottery. I may be awesome at running my cafe, but I'm terrible at men. And after my last epic breakup, everyone in town knows it. That's why I need a +1, even a fake one, so that when my sister gets married, everyone's attention is on her where it belongs. The guy next door is perfect for the job. Gorgeous and charming, Logan Fife is only here for a few weeks. He's also a hot Scottish bazillionaire who's totally out of my league. So my risk of falling into a relationship with him? Less than 0. Oh, sure. Pretending to date Logan is the perfect plan until it isn't. Beneath his devilish smirk and delicious brogue is a big-hearted man who makes me feel the one thing I've never believed to be true, that I'm enough, just the way I am. With the wedding approaching, there's nothing fake about my feelings anymore. When he slips his arm around my waist and whispers into my ear, yeah, I'm a goner. We may be worlds apart, but I'm done pretending. It's time to get real, even if it means risking my heart. Author's note, if you like sweet closed-door romantic comedies with plenty of sizzling chemistry and laugh-out-loud banter, then welcome to Jasmine Falls. Each book in the series can be read as a standalone and has a guaranteed HEA. Now let's spin that wheel again to November 7th. We've got 2 to talk about really quickly. This one's set at New Year's Second Chance Snowmance by Caroline Frank, also on Kindle Unlimited, and A Christmas Escape to Iran. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'm probably not. By Ellie Henderson, which is also on Kindle Unlimited. So many of these have been released on Kindle Unlimited. It's not even funny. Let's spin a little bit further to November 9th. This one again is, you guessed it, on Kindle Unlimited. It's Christmas with the Lords, and I'd like to highlight this one. Let's talk about it. By Hannah Langdon. It's the perfect uplifting Christmas romance, it says. Urgently wanted, a nanny for Christmas, seeking an adventurous nanny to work for the aristocratic Lord family at their country estate. Must love naughty dogs, mischievous children, and Christmas chaos. Room and board provided. Penny Windlesham is stunned when her long-term boyfriend suddenly dumps her, leaving her with a broken heart just in time for Christmas. At a loose end, she accepts a job as a short-term nanny to a family she's never met. Climbing aboard a train bound for the Dorset countryside. A tear rolls down her cheek. Alone and amongst strangers, could her Christmas be any less magical? As she crunches up the family's frost-covered drive, this sounds so beautiful. Penny's spirits lift when she glimpses her home for the next month, an enormous manor house, its windows glowing with firelight and festooned with twinkling holly. And as she settles into her role caring for the adorable Lord children, she finds herself surrounded by a quirky cast of characters, including lovably frazzled Spanish chef Pilar and the children's grouchy uncle, Lando Lord. Despite Penny's attempts to avoid him, the darkly handsome Lando seems to be everywhere, hanging around like the Scrooge amidst the happy present wrapping and gingerbread baking. Apparently, he wasn't always this way. Is there some secret reason he's so cranky at Christmas? When Lando is commissioned to carve a beautiful new nativity scene for the local church, Penny blushingly agrees to be his model. And a sudden spark flickers between them. But it's not long before the past comes knocking, and Penny discovers exactly why Lando left his old life behind. A heartwarming, feel-good holiday story full of Christmas magic. Fans of Beth Moran, Donna Ashcroft, and Trisha Ashley will love Christmas with the Lords. We've got 4 Weddings and a Christmas by Philippa Ashley, An Escape to the Swiss Chalet, which is very hard for me to say, by Carrie Walker. Let's spin that wheel right into November 14th, where quite a few books were released. This one was one of my very favorites, Christmas or No, Almost Like Being in Love. I've talked about it so many times on my channel, so I will just say this. We have a girl and her friend. They find themselves in a blizzard in the mountains in the highlands, and all of a sudden realize they've been whisked back in time to hundreds of years ago, and they are now in a village with a gorgeous, gorgeous Highlander. This is soulmates, closed door, super sweet, still spicy, I think, in terms of chemistry and fun. It's great for fans of Brigadoon. Not only is it on Kindle Unlimited, it's also on WhisperSync, so if you get it on your Kindle, you can also listen to it at your leisure. The perfect combo! We also have A Mary Montgomery Christmas by Samantha Chase and Sapphic Romance Over a Barrel by Layla Rain. That one promises to be pretty spicy. But I also want to focus on Waiting for Christmas, a hot holiday romance by Cynthia Eden. Let's talk more about that one. Unwrap a hot holiday romance. How long has he been waiting? His whole life. That's how long Wyatt Roth feels like he has been waiting for Christmas. Christy Sharp to realize she's meant to be with him. But gorgeous and vivacious Christy has always seen him as just her little brother's best friend. One ridiculous year, he's only younger than her by 1 year. And doesn't she get that he's grown up? He's a doctor, part of an elite special operations surgical team, a team that has been trained in medicine and in military battle. There is no fight he can't win, and he won't give up on her. She's home for the holidays, but running scared. The last thing he expects is to find a terrified Christy on his doorstep just days before Christmas. But a stalker has sent her running to the only place she has a safe haven. Wyatt takes her in and vows to protect her. No one will be hurting Christy on his watch. And with her finally under his roof, finally staying close 24/7, he can show Christy that he's been there for her all along. Right there. Waiting. When did Wyatt Roth get so big, so dangerous, so insanely sexy with all of his muscles and that tempting grin? Christy can't believe it when the tall, hot Doc answers the door and immediately vows to protect her. She has an ex who won't let go, and the guy has been scaring her so badly that she has to rush away in the middle of the night. Yikes. But now Wyatt is promising to keep her safe. The magic of the holiday season is surrounding her, and when she finds herself sharing a passionate kiss with Wyatt under the mistletoe, Christy realizes maybe what she's wanted her whole life has been right in front of her. What happens when the boy you knew grows into a rugged, too sexy to be true man? A man who has deadly skills, wicked wit, and an amazing kissing ability? During the magic of the holidays, anything can happen, but you have to be careful because danger is always close. And the thing you want most in the world just might be lost in the blink of an eye. Time for some holly jolly romance with a side dose of suspense. Waiting for Christmas is a hot holiday novella designed to get you in the ho 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 spirit. Fall in love, get your heart racing, and prepare to be both naughty and nice as you sink into this story. I think I need to read this. It's short too. I might have time. Let's spin that wheel to November 16th for Christmas with the Billionaire. It's an entire box set by Leslie North. And then we'll spin some more to November 17th, where quite a few books were released. Here's the cute Christmas romance, Finding My Elf by David Valdez. Also, The Wishing Bridge by Viola Shipman, Pam Mantovani's Christmas with a Cowboy, and The Comforting Christmas by Susan Hattler. Spinning that wheel to November 21st, where we again see many releases. Secrets of Starshine Cove by Debbie Johnson. Sapphic Romance Kringle Falls by Lynn Oliver Hudson. A Carol for Carol by Anne Roberts. And Meet Me on Christmas Eve by Elena Highbury, which I want to talk a little bit more about right now. Two people with a reversal of fortunes. A love of Christmas buried from a difficult past. Regret and resentment abound with a fire that was never truly extinguished. Now an elite resort owner in snowy Minnesota, Mariana has left her humble past firmly behind her, not to mention an epic heartbreak from 10 years ago. When she decides to expand her business to acquire a quaint Christmas village and reclaim her secret love of the holiday, the last thing she expects is to run into him. Once a wealthy young man who lost it all, Terry is just as dismayed about their encounter as Mariana is. Resentment about their summer romance and their reversal of fortunes and the fateful Christmas Eve meetup that never happened brews between them as Terry becomes an obstacle in her business plans. Mariana is determined to listen to her head, not her heart. After all, she survived these past 10 years by avoiding emotions and making smart decisions, not pining after lost love. But can she resist him when fate brings them close together this Christmas? Let's spin that wheel again to November 24th with Holiday Vibes, Over the Top Love Book 2 by Sarah Brenton. We'll spin just a little bit more to November 26th with A Christmas Changes Everything by Isabel Grace. And then we'll spin again to a day with quite a few releases, November 28th. Harlequin is releasing a slew of Christmas romances on this day, such as Twins for the Holidays by Jacqueline Thomas. This book has 2 stories in it. Breaking the Bad Boys Rules by Reese Ryan, but the one I'm focusing on, of course, is Their White Hot Christmas by Jules Bennett. Kind of an interesting idea, putting 2 books together like that. How about A Christmas Consequence for the Greek by Lucy King, or Healed by a Mistletoe Kiss by Allison Roberts. We also have Marion Bright by Terry Wilson, Hot Shot Hero for the Holidays by Lisa Childs. And I want to focus on this last one that looks really fun, The Mistletoe Makeover, a sweet romantic comedy by Grace Worthington. He's the hottest country star in the country whose reputation needs repairing. I'm an unemployed event planner who's desperate for a job. When I'm forced to team up with Mr. Smolder, that's right, Mr. Smolder, for the most ambitious Christmas event around, it might be my biggest mistake yet. For me, Christmas has never been the most wonderful time of year. It's a painful reminder of my father walking out and my whole family's world crashing down. After that, I never really believed in happily ever after. Right now, I've got my hands full of my hometown Christmas festival as a much needed makeover while trying to convince Jace Knight, aka Mr. Smolder, to headline a concert for the event. It's an uphill battle to wrangle the festival committee and turn the town into a quaint Christmas village while I ignore these feelings that involve mistletoe kisses with the famous music star. The last time someone tried to kiss me under the mistletoe, it was a total disaster, which is why I'm not about to let Jace Knight work his mistletoe magic on me now, especially since I'm hiding a secret. I've never been kissed before. Jace. I moved to Maplewood with one thing in mind, to escape a very ugly public breakup. I don't care if people think I'm a grumpy recluse. I just want to be alone after the year I've had. Yet when circumstances force me to agree to a concert for the Maplewood Mistletoe Festival, I'm surprised to find an unexpected connection with Mia McPherson and offer her a job as my personal assistant. It's a win-win situation for both of us until we get stranded together during a freak snowstorm. Now we're forced to navigate our differences while pulling off the biggest Christmas festival ever. Oh, and figure out how to hide our intense chemistry for each other. No problem, right? Not when there's mistletoe everywhere, and every logical reason why we shouldn't fall in love. But whoever said love is logical, especially at Christmas? Tropes include celebrity romance, never been kissed, forced proximity, grumpy sunshine vibes, and snowed in together. Important reader note, this closed-door romantic comedy has all the holiday fun and none of the spice. In other words, kissing only. The Mistletoe Makeover is like a sweet Hallmark movie, so if that's your jam and you want all the cozy vibes, you'll fall in love with this sweet holiday rom-com, which, by the way, is on, you guessed it, Kindle Unlimited. Let's get into December, where I have 4 releases so far announced. We'll see if there's anything else. We have Laughing All the Way by Mia Summers, which is coming out December 5th. He needs to pull off the perfect Christmas. She needs to take it down. But what happens when natural enemies meet under the mistletoe? Sassy influencer Noelle, of course, revels in poking fun at, well, everything. Her sharp wit has made her an internet sensation with legions of fans, but her ratings are declining and now she needs to do something big to win them over. She needs to take down the self-proclaimed Christmas town, USA. Colin is the youngest mayor in Evergreen Creek's history. The town is the embodiment of Christmas, famed for its festive traditions, tree lighting ceremony, and good cheer. In Colin's fervor to uphold the town's traditions, he's so lost in his work that he's forgotten what Christmas truly means. When Colin hears of Noelle's impending arrival, he's determined to show the snarky influencer how wonderful Christmas can be. Hot chocolate, Christmas cookies, and a late night skate around a giant Christmas tree are all in the cards as he tries to win her over. Ooh. But Noelle can't be swayed until they have that moment under the mistletoe. Laughing All the Way is a sweet Christmas rom-com with all the banter, feels, and Christmas magic you crave. Come to Evergreen Creek, where the holiday spirit is always in the air and love is just a laugh away, which is on Kindle Unlimited. Also on December 5th is Ghosts of Christmas by Kenya Wright. Now let's spin one last time, I know already, to December 6th for another Kindle Unlimited release, The Worst Christmas Wife. This one sounded so crazy I have to bring it up as well. This is a grumpy boss holiday rom-com by Katie Blanchard. She's found the perfect job just in time for Christmas. The only problem is her new boss is a grumpy, stubborn, seriously handsome workaholic who lives to get on her nerves, and now he wants to marry her? Bring on the eggnog. It's going to be a long Christmas. The Worst Christmas Wife is hilarious, heartwarming, and the perfect Christmas love story. It's intended to be a quick dose of fun, book you can sit down with and read in a night or two. Smile as you go and leave you feeling all the best emotions the season can bring. Sign me up. And last but not least, here's what I've got to talk a little more about because it's just so funny. Tiny Home for Christmas by Erin Lucy. Spending Christmas in a stranger's tiny home isn't what Scarlett wants, but it might be just what she needs. Scarlett. I travel alone, I eat alone, I sleep alone, I celebrate Christmas alone. Being snowed in at a campground is my idea of heaven. I have an electric heater, lots of blankets, and plenty of food to keep me warm. A little sub-zero wind chill won't stop me from enjoying my holiday. Unless the power goes out. Then we have Nick. People are like ants, moving soil, carving out roads, building endlessly, upsetting the balance. I don't like ants. Any chance I get to be alone, I take it. Being snowed in at Jolly Days campground on Christmas, no problem. Except there is a problem. She's in that Ford Transit van over there, and if the power goes out, she'll freeze to death. So of course the power goes out, and my tiny home just got way too crowded. Tiny Home for Christmas is a forced proximity, enemies to more, closed door romance about two cold hearts that slowly warm up to love. How can it be closed door if there's no room for doors? Well, there you have it. I think that was about 1 million books, right? It was certainly way over 100. I had no idea when I started this project that it was going to be that many books. Wow, I can't believe it. Thank you so much for joining me in the fun of looking through these fabulously romantic 2023 Christmas releases. I hope you're doing well, and I hope you're enjoying whatever it is you're reading, whether it's a Christmas romance or not. Until next time, thanks so much. Take care. Bye.